Hello and welcome to day 21, Jesus, of RPG a Day 2020. Thank you very much, Facebook and Autocratic, for hosting this amazing project. And thank you to each and every one of you who've taken part in RPG a Day 2020. And if you haven't had a chance yet, it's free, it's a few minutes of your time, and it's a great way to show your appreciation of the hobby. So check out RPG A Day 2020 on Facebook and, contribute something, a drawing, a sculpture, a video, a song, a painting, whatever. If you love RPG, this is a great way to explore it and share it. So yeah, blah. Day 21, the word is push. Now with push, I could have gone a lot of ways, but one of my favorite cheesy, bad superhero films is Chris Evans, Captain America's cinematic masterpiece, Push. Push stars Chris Evans, Dakota Fanning, Kamala Beale, and Jimon Hansu. This film centers around a group of people born with special powers, special psychic powers, because the government experimented on their parents. So in the Push universe, with the exception of one individual, group powers, everything is sort of makes sense. They're sort of a linear, which I loved about it. I mean, it's a horrible movie, but it's a great movie. It takes place in Japan, China. We've got this group of individuals with superpowers. Some of them work for the government. Some of them are independent. Some of them are sort of heroes. Most of them are villains. Chris Evans' character is a telekinetic, but we think, oh no, he's not really that powerful. But it turns out he's, like, of course, by the end of the movie, like, really one of the most powerful telekinetics. Dakota Fanning is a person who can see the future, and she does it through drawing. And the female lead, the character of that Camille Bale plays, is a push, basically a mind controller. Not really telepath, but she can push somebody to do something against their will. And that is where the name of the movie comes. That is where the main plot of the movie comes, tracing the drug, tracing the origins and how their parents got exposed to the drugs and how each one of them is a second generation of these people that were experimenting on with the government, and how she's involved and how he's trying to rescue her, and Dakota Fanning's mom predicted everything, and blah 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 blah. So there's this drug that boosts psychic abilities. Now the great thing about Push, especially because Netflix just released Project Power, which is also about people getting powers from drugs. And the main plot of Project Power, spoilers, is the fact that the protagonist's daughter has powers because he took the drug as part of a government experiment. And because he passed down what the drug did to him, she has powers, but she doesn't need the drug. Everybody else in the movie needs the drug to trigger their powers. So is the drug in Push the same drug in Project Power? Which then leads me to my next favorite cheesy movie, Jumper, which pretty much, if you watch it and you watch Push, they're the same universe, because we have, again, a kid with superpowers, in this case, jumping, teleportation. They even did a TV show on it on YouTube called Impulse. And he gets his powers because the government experimented on people with this psychic power to enhance it. There's this long history of these individuals who can jump. Myths are based upon them, but the government has been experimenting on them. And he's actually the son of one of the government agents. And so the government has, been trying to control them, hunt them down, but also they were experimenting on them. So is the drug that allowed the government to push the jumpers the same drug from Push? Because they're all psychic abilities, except for the people with the sonic scream. They're the only ones who don't really make sense of the powers that we see in Push, because everything else is pretty much can be explained as, yeah, psychic seeing the future, implanting memories, changing people's perception, telekinesis, telepathy, psychometry, object readings, all the powers in Push, pretty much psychic. But then there's this one group who have a sonic scream, and you're like, sonic scream is not psych. I don't understand. But whatever. I guess they needed something. I don't know. Then we have Jumper. And we also have Project Power. So is this the same universe? And then that leads me to my next favorite cheesy bad film about people who get superpowers from drugs. Limitless with Bradley Cooper and the short-lived Limitless TV series, which could also conclude Lucy with Natasha Rasimoff, with the Black Widow herself. So, Limitless has this drug called NZT, which is a super memory cognition mind enhancer. When you take that drug, you are the smartest, most cognitive person on the world for 12 hours. But when it wears off, it has horrible, horrible side effects. Does NZT come from the same universe as Push and Jumper? And Lucy with Scarlett Johansson, where she's carrying this super drug. She's a drug mule, but somehow it gets in her system and she starts developing superpowers because the drug, this NZT-like drug, is just evolving her so quickly, where she develops telekinesis and telepathy and object, far-seeing and super intelligence and all the powers we see Bradley Cooper and the guy from the Limitless TV series 1,000-fold, till she basically becomes this pure being of pure conscious thought, a pure entity of the next step of human evolution, which is also the theme of Project Power. Can we create this drug to push humans to the next step of evolution? The plot of Push, the government trying to create super soldiers by pushing the next step of human evolution. The plot of Jumper, these individuals who can teleport are the next step of human evolution, and is the psychic powers that the government is messing with pushing us. Which leads us back to Firestarter, Stephen King's movie about the shop experimenting on individuals with drugs to enhance superpowers or give them superpowers. Firestarter, we have young Drew Barrymore lighting people on fire. We have Scanners, where people are, got psychic powers. We have all this long history of movies and TV shows, and all of them sort of having a same theme of black ops government pushing drugs onto people at some point in time to create super soldiers, super beings, and then their descendants also having superpowers. Do these all take place in the same universe? Is the drug from Push the same drug in Project Power? Is NZT, the drug from Limitless, the same drug that was in Lucy's stomach that allowed her to evolve and develop several of the same powers we see in Push? Is the experiments and the descendants of Jumper the same people who were the Scanners and the same people we saw in Firestarter? Are they all part of this worldwide constant repetition of experimenting on individuals with untested drugs? And where do these untested drugs come from? Do they come from aliens? Does it all take us back to Area 51? Do they come from mining the genetic material of the individuals that wore legendary entities like Zeus and Thor? I mean, these legendary stories come from somewhere. What if the government has access to, some prehistoric, legendary, genetic alien source that they slowly over the years mine out to create super soldiers? And if they're super soldiers, how does this connect to Captain America? Because he gets his power from drugs. So I am constantly trying to fit all these movies and TV shows together. So the word push makes me think of Push. And if you're a fan of Captain America, Chris Evans, if you're a fan of weird superpowers that don't make sense, if you want to see some pretty images of the Orient and superpowers, zapping it out, check out Push. Check out Jumper. Check out Limitless. Check out Limitless, the TV series. It's on the CW. Check out Project Power on Netflix. And you tell me, do all these movies and all these TV shows, are they actually in the same universe? This NZT universe, as I call it, is the drug the same drug from Push, Project Power, Lucy, Limitless, Jumper, Firestarter, Scanners? Is it the same drug? Push. Today's word is push. And can I push you for a moment to consider supporting me so I can buy my own NZT and become a superpowered, enhanced individual? Maybe I already am. What am I thinking?